Today we're going to do a broken electrical motor or electrical motor cable. I'm not sure what it is, but what we need to do is take the door panel off. I'll show you how to do that because the window is, when I bought this truck, the window was propped up, and once there was a pencil stuck in here, took that off, then the window is like that. It shouldn't be like that. So if it does like that, just let it go down. It'll be okay. So let's try to prop it up first. We'll let it go down. Okay, so we're going to start by removing this piece. I have a little handy, these are the tools that you're going to need. I have a little handy plastic interior tool to keep from scuffing up and scratching up stuff. So stick it in here, pry this off, okay, and then what you do is stick it in here, pry this part off, remove, take a Phillips screwdriver in here, and then right here you'll have a Phillips head screw, okay. You put your screwdriver in there and you remove it. Okay, now I got the screws out, so this will come out, hold it up, because if you noticed inside here there will be some wires. Okay, the first one will be a wire which connects the door handle. So you take this, you pull this out, and then down. You get little slots, pull it out and down, and like a little hook. So you take the hook out of this little plastic thing. It'll be like a little fish hook. Take that out. It won't go anywhere. You can just let it dangle. Okay, the next wire will be this wire down on the bottom for your light. It's a plastic connector. You just pull it off. Two little prongs. You just pull that off. Let that hang. Last but not least is your door lock assembly, which will have two plastic ears. Just push on those and you pull it out. Okay. Now what you have to watch on these are these little connectors here, What happens, like this one came out, and what happens like on this one, you have to re-glue it. It'll fall off. So in fact, here it is. You re-glue it. I use just Elmer's glue. You can really use any sort of all-purpose household glue. So let me glue these together. What I'll do is I'll take these in the house and glue them together, but right now I'll continue pulling the window assembly out. Okay, so you pull this insulation part back. It's just held on by some gooey black sticky stuff, and as we can see in here, here's our problem. This wire broke. Okay, so in this instance you have to I get a used unit, because the used unit it's pretty much just sold that way by Mercedes actually. Okay, so obviously the motor's fine, so we'll just leave the motor. There's a blue connector. If you get down in here, you can see there's a blue connector that goes into the motor, so we have to pull that off first. Okay, there's some little ears on this right here that you just kind of pry those off like that. There's one on each side. So once you pry those out, you can just pull the connector off. There, that comes off. And then this, you stick your screwdriver like that. Okay, you have to take that off because the motor is going to come off with this. I would put this here. It goes on kind of like that, and then clips on these little ears. I put that on there just to keep from losing it. Okay, the next thing you need to do, this thing is held on by rivets. Yeah, rivets, they suck. These two rivets right here, this rivet right here, and this rivet right here. What you need to do is drill them out. Okay, now this is part of this assembly as well. So what you do is we'll drill these rivets out. I'll show you how to drill them out. And then once that's drilled out, you lift this up. This will slide back out, and then you can remove the whole unit. I already have another one to put in, and it looks just like this. Okay. Whoops, I'm sorry, upside down. It looks just like this inside. Okay, here's this little clip. Here's this little pin that clips in there. So what it does, it goes in there and it clips in, and then we'll put new rivets in. You can, if you don't have a rivet gun, you can go to I go to any cheap tool place and get a rivet gun with rivets. It's like $5. You can go to Auto Parts Place and get one for probably $6 or $8. Or you can use screws to replace that, but make sure the screws are very short, because the window slides in this track. Here's how the window goes. I'll show you in a second how it's connected, but the window slides up and down in this track, and you can't have anything binding in that track. Put that down for now. Okay, here is, if you can look down here, if you can look through there, that is what holds the window on. It's a T20 screw. So we have to take that screw out, and then when you do that, make sure the window doesn't fall and break, because that's the only thing holding the window in there. So let me take that out, and then I'll show you how to drill out the rivets. Okay. So I would take the screw out first. Oops, I got the wrong size bit. It's a little short screw, there's not much to it. And don't lose that screw, because you'd be screwed. So try not to drop it in the door, because it's kind of hard to find. Right. Okay. I took the screw out. Definitely put that in a place where you're not going to lose it. Then the window, let the window slide down. Alright, let the window slide down. Now what we'll do is we'll take a drill. I don't know, it's about you just want a drill bit that's just big enough for the hole. You don't want one bigger from the hole. You don't want to ream this hole out any. So what you want to do is to drill the rivet out. Okay, this one's a little stubborn. Then we'll come down and drill these out. I think if we just use a screwdriver, pry that out. we go. Okay, now this should just lift this up so this clip comes out of there. You'll have to put it down there. Back here, it's out. And see, it's broken. Here's your new one. This is what it should look like with these go around these pulley. Okay, so we're gonna take this. Oh, cut it for a second. Window assembly. What you do is you're gonna feed this back down through here, and then back up. Okay. Go until you feed it. Okay. There's our. There you go. This little hook right here. You can line up your hole there. Line up your hole here, and then that'll line up the holes down here. And we'll put some rivets in there. Feed it through here. Okay, like that. Okay. Line up your hole. All right. And the rivet gun. Squeeze. Okay. Squeeze. Rivet in. All right. All right, line up another hole, okay, here. All right, make sure this is pulled tight there. Squeeze. Okay, squeeze. Rivet in. All right, get another rivet. Down here. Squeeze. Okay, squeeze. Rivet in. Last rivet. This hole should be lined up. Squeeze. Squeeze. Rivets in. Okay, now you put the screw back in with your until it's tight. There you go. Now that'll hold the window. Okay, now your next steps are to, since we have it all riveted in, plug in your window motor back, plug your window motor back in. Okay. Then I'll take that thing with the little blue ear. We have all our little pins in, glued to get little plastic connectors glued to it. So we're going to put it back. So first thing is we're going to take our bottom light wire, plug it in. Just two simple little connectors. Pull that through. Plug it into our light. There we go. Oops, push my light through. I don't want to do that. And then put our little rubber connector thing back over it. Okay, we're going to take it off for a second. Sometimes the simplest things can be the frustrating. Okay, now just kind of push that back through there. There we go. Push that back through. rubber boot over here to keep it from getting wet. There we go. Now we'll take our little hook for our door closer. Comes in from the bottom, hooks in there. Alright, pull that out, goes in a little slot in the bottom, like that. Alright, then we take a lock mechanism, locking mechanism thing, slide it through this hole, so you'll hear a click. Then we'll line up all these little plastic little pegs. Make sure you don't force those into places they don't, because if you try to force them, they will break real easily. Okay. I think one already has. You break one, it's not the end of the world. You've got plenty. This one became unglued. So what we'll do is we'll glue that back in. I'm going to show you how to put this on, and then I'll take care of that a little bit later. First, I'm going to get the lock mechanism in here right. Use those. Have our lock mechanism out. I pulled this little thing out to make it easier to get pushed down on the glass, because that's what was on it. So put this in place. Okay. And then this has a ridge. Well, just stop, please. This has a ridge right here. You can look, it's a ridge, and this fits into this ridge on the weather stripping by the window. Okay, so put that in the ridge and push down a little bit. Now what you want to do is you want to line up these little plastic pins. There's little plastic receptors. Kind of just hit that. Right? And then make sure we get the ones on the inside. But you need to make sure they line up before you pop it into place. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to put this in real quick. Alright. This just pops in. Okay, now we're going to put our 3 screws, Phillips head screws, here, here, and in here. And then I'll put this top cover and we'll be done. Okay. And we'll put these in these 2 little pops places here. Oops. All right. Maybe we'll put the bottom one in first. There we go. Okay, I'll finish putting this screw in and we're done. So then, what we do is we go over here. How about that? All fixed. please remember on all the videos, please subscribe to our videos so you can keep getting more Mercedes repair stuff and cool travel videos. Thanks.